Think every overpowered protagonist is just a boring copy-paste trope? Think again. These 6 underrated fantasy anime redefine absolute dominance in spectacular and unforgettable ways. Kicking off our list at number 6, Grimgar of Fantasy and Ash. When a group of strangers awakens in the unforgiving world of Grimgar with no memories of their past lives, survival becomes their only objective. Forced to form a volunteer soldier party, these ordinary youths must hunt goblins and terrifying monsters just to afford basic necessities like food and shelter. The narrative centers on Haruhiro, a thief who reluctantly takes on the leadership role after a devastating tragedy strikes their group. Their journey is a grounded, brutally realistic struggle where every single battle carries immense weight, fatal consequences, and emotional scars. Grimgar is an absolute masterpiece of atmosphere that strips away the invincibility complex seen in most modern fantasy shows. The breathtaking watercolor backgrounds contrast beautifully with the gritty, desperate violence, creating an unmatched aesthetic experience. What makes this show incredible is the emotional pacing. The character development feels incredibly earned because you watch these kids bleed and cry for every tiny victory. It is criminal how overlooked this gem remains. If you want high stakes where plot armor does not exist, this show delivers tension that will leave you breathless. Moving down the rankings to number 5, The Faraway Paladin. Reincarnated into a ruined city of the dead, a human boy named Will is raised by 3 unusual undead beings: a hardy skeletal warrior, a graceful mummified priestess, and an eccentric spectral sorcerer. They teach him combat, magic, and religion, molding him into a formidable warrior. When he finally uncovers the truth about his guardian's pasts and the dark deity that binds them, Will must venture out into a perilous world. He embarks on a righteous crusade to become a true paladin, wielding immense divine power to vanquish creeping evil. What sets this series apart is its profound sincerity. While most modern isekai rely on cheap gimmicks or arrogant protagonists, this narrative feels like a classic, tabletop role-playing epic crafted with genuine heart. The bond between Will and his undead family brings surprising emotional depth to the early episodes. Will is ridiculously powerful, yet his strength comes from discipline and love rather than unearned cheat skills. The sweeping orchestral score and beautifully choreographed magic sequences make every confrontation feel legendary. It is an absolute must-watch for traditional fantasy enthusiasts. Breaking into our top 4 at number 4, suppose a kid from the last dungeon, Boonies, moved to a starter town. Lloyd Belladonna is a young boy who considers himself the weakest member of his village, a remote settlement located dangerously close to the legendary final dungeon. Determined to fulfill his dream of becoming a soldier, he relocates to the distant kingdom of Azami. However, Lloyd is entirely unaware that the inhabitants of his hometown possess godlike strength compared to normal humans. When he arrives in the capital, his supposedly weak abilities manifest as catastrophic magic and unbelievable physical power, causing hilarious chaos among the bewildered military academy recruits and veterans. The comedic timing in this anime is pure gold. It brilliantly subverts the typical power fantasy by making the main character completely oblivious to his own terrifying supremacy. Watching everyone around Lloyd panic while he casually performs miraculous feats is endlessly entertaining. The colorful, vibrant animation perfectly complements the lighthearted tone, yet the action sequences still deliver incredible visual punch. It perfectly balances slapstick humor with genuine fantasy adventure. If you need a refreshing break from overly serious, edgy protagonists, this hilarious hidden gem will absolutely exceed your expectations today. Reaching the halfway point at number 3, The Genius Prince's Guide to Raising a Nation Out of Debt, Prince Wine. Selima Arbalest rules the struggling, impoverished kingdom of Natra. Burdened by massive national debt and surrounded by aggressive empires, his only true desire is to sell off his country to the highest bidder and retire in absolute luxury. To achieve this treasonous goal, he executes brilliant political schemes and strategic military maneuvers designed to make the kingdom appear temporarily valuable. Ironically, his tactical genius works entirely too well. Every deliberate attempt to sabotage his own reign accidentally secures massive victories, expanding his territory and fiercely loyal fanatical following. Wayne redefines what it means to be overpowered. He does not use ridiculous magic or physical strength to conquer enemies. His ultimate weapon is unmatched intellectual supremacy. Watching his flawless tactical manipulation of rival nations is deeply satisfying. The banter between Wayne and his elegant aide Ninim is incredibly sharp, carrying the emotional core of the series effortlessly. The studio did a fantastic job animating the expressive, hilarious reactions that contrast the heavy political warfare. It is a masterclass in strategic storytelling that grips you tight and never lets go. Stepping up to the runner-up spot at number 2, Seirei Gensouki, Spirit Chronicles. Following a tragic traffic accident, a Japanese university student awakens in the slums of a magical world as a young orphan named Ryo. Two disparate minds and memories merge into one entity, granting Ryo an unexpected fusion of immense magical aptitude and precise martial arts mastery. After bravely rescuing a kidnapped princess, he secures an invitation to a prestigious royal academy filled with arrogant nobles who despise his lowborn status. Determined to uncover his past and rise above societal prejudice, Ryo unleashes his devastating arcane power to his friends. The split personality dynamic makes Ryo far more fascinating than your average standard isekai protagonist. I absolutely love how the show handles his overwhelming strength. He does not boast or seek unnecessary conflict. His cool, composed demeanor makes every eventual beatdown incredibly satisfying to witness. The animation truly shines during the rapid sword clashes and vibrant elemental magic casting. It takes familiar reincarnation tropes and executes them with a level of polish and emotional weight that demands your attention. This series offers pure power fantasy gratification, balanced beautifully by drama. And finally, reigning supreme at number 1, the Misfit of Demon King Academy. Anos Voldegoad, the tyrannical demon king of tyranny, sacrifices his own life to end an endless, devastating war between humans and demons. 2,000 years later, he reincarnates into a peaceful future only to discover that magical power has severely declined and his legendary legacy has been completely rewritten. Enrolling in the elite academy designed to identify his own reincarnated soul, Anos is immediately branded a misfit by the flawed ranking system. Unfazed, the absolute monarch begins systematically crushing every arrogant, noble, and magical obstacle to reclaim his rightful throne. Anos Voldegoad is the undisputed peak of overpowered main characters. What makes this series an absolute triumph is its unapologetic, glorious embrace of his godlike supremacy. The show never pretends he is in danger. Instead, the entertainment comes from watching him utterly humiliate anyone foolish enough to challenge his authority. The disrespect he dishes out is legendary, backed by crisp animation and an incredible driving soundtrack. It is a wildly entertaining spectacle that understands exactly what it wants to be. You cannot watch this masterpiece without smiling at his audacity. There you have it, 6 fantasy anime where overpowered main characters completely steal the show. Did your absolute favorite series make the cut today? Drop your top picks right down in the comments below, subscribe for more epic recommendations, and I will see you next time.